Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. So today I'm gonna be showing you guys how I make my famous ceviche. I hope you guys really like it. And let me just put a disclaimer like I did in my aguachiles video. This is just the way that I make it. This is the way that I like it. And I know there's like a million different ways you can make ceviche, but this is just how I make it. So just remember that. But yeah, let's just get into the recipe. I'm gonna show you guys right now the ingredients that I'm gonna be using, and we're gonna get straight into it. So I'm gonna use about a pound of shrimp. I'm gonna use a pound of imitation crab, which is jaiba. I use this whole thing because this whole thing is a pound, and honestly I love this, like this specific one, but any jaiba of your choice is fine. I'm gonna use 3 tomates, 2 chiles serranos, 7 limones, 3 aguacates, and some cilantro, just like a little bunch of cilantro. And I'm also gonna be using salt. Me and Jose personally don't like onion, so I don't add onion in the one that I make for us. But if you were to add onion, I would definitely suggest to put purple onion, not white onion. So yeah, let me start showing you guys what I do first. To be honest, this recipe is mainly just a lot of chopping. You have to chop the tomates, the chiles, the cilantro, the jaiba. Okay, so I'm gonna start chopping my tomates. I like to take the top off, cut it in half. And I like to take the seeds out. I feel like it's better because if not, it feels like more mushy, if that makes sense. It's more messy. And then now actually chop it. Okay, so as you can see, I chop them pretty small. I dice them into little cubes, but I like to do it pretty small because for the same reason that I don't want like the tomato to be too overpowering, you get me? So dice them up pretty small. So let me dice up the other ones. Here I have all my tomates diced up. Now I'm just gonna put them in the bowl. And this is the bowl where I'm gonna be making everything. So now I'm gonna start chopping up my chiles. You can use chiles jalapeño if you don't want it that spicy, but I just always prefer to use chiles serranos, but you can use jalapeño or serranos, it doesn't really matter. So these, I like to just cut them down the middle, and then I'm just gonna start chopping them. Here are my chiles, now I'm gonna add those. Now I'm gonna start chopping my cilantro. And my cilantro, I like to take some of the bottom off because I don't really like all the little, you know, the little sticks. So I'll take the bottom off, and then that way it's mainly just like the little leaves. Then I fold it in half and then just chop it as finely as you can. Now I'm gonna add this. Okay, puppy. So here in my bowl I have cilantro, tomato, and the chiles. And before I do anything else, I am going to start cooking my shrimp. I honestly make this ceviche 2 ways. I'll either cook the shrimp in limon for about, I want to say like 2 hours. But today I did not have time to do that, so I'm gonna boil it in some water for a little bit. So I have the water on right here already. When it starts boiling, I'm gonna throw my shrimp in there. Okay, so now I'm gonna start shredding my jaiba, or my imitation crab. This one, you can chop it with a knife. You can just dice it up as well, or you can just, I don't know how to say this, but I mean in English. Just pull it apart, if that makes sense. But what I like to do, because it's so much easier and it saves so much time, and I like how small the pieces come out, I'm gonna use a cheese grater, and I'm gonna use like these bigger ones, and I'm just gonna shred it in. I like to cut it into like 3 pieces, and then I'll take it out. I usually take out just 1 piece at a time, and then I'll cut it like in half, and then I'll just put this over the bowl and then just start shredding it. And see, that's how they come out. And that is perfect. So let me keep shredding the rest. Okay, so there's all my Jaiba imitation crab shredded in there, and it was perfect timing because my water for my shrimp is now boiling. So there is my water boiling, so I'm gonna add the shrimp. Also, before you do this and after shredding the Jaiba, please wash your hands, as you should be. So there's the shrimp, and see, it's right away starting to get pink, so we're not gonna leave it in here for that long. Okay, so I washed my hands again, and see, honestly, it's only been like a minute, and I'm about to take them out already because they're already getting a little too pink. And you don't want to leave them in there for too long because then they'll taste rubbery, and that is the last thing you want. But they can't get any pinker than this. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm gonna turn it off, and I'm gonna take them out. I hope you can see. And there is my shrimp. So I'm gonna leave these to kind of cool down for a little bit before I put them in there. Right now, when my shrimp finish cooling off, I'm actually gonna chop them into smaller pieces, into like maybe 3 pieces, just because the shrimps are really big, and I feel like for ceviche they have to be like smaller. So I'm gonna chop them up, but first I'm gonna wash my cutting board. I'm putting just a little bit of cold water on my shrimp just to cool them down a little bit faster. I'm gonna start cutting the limones to have them ready, and I'm gonna start chopping up the avocados too. Okay, so the limones, pretty basic, just cut them in half just to have them ready to squeeze into the mix. My avocado in. I have everything chopped up already. Now I'm gonna start chopping the shrimp. This shrimp that I have is like the jumbo shrimp. So if you use like the small ceviche, like the little baby ones, those should be fine. Or if you use like the medium sized ones, I would say to just chop them into like 3. Okay, so after cutting the shrimp, I just washed my hands again, and now I'm going to start adding all the limones. Okay, so I only ended up using 6 limones because the ones that I used were really juicy, so I decided to only use 6 instead of 7. So now I'm just gonna add some salt and then just mix everything up and you're done. For the salt, I can't give you an exact measurement because obviously my taste buds are different than yours, but I would just say to just be like tasting as you go, like as you're adding salt and mixing it, that way you know, like kind of like, oh, this seems kind of good, you know, if that makes sense. I'm gonna start mixing it. So I just like to bring the stuff from the bottom up first. And there is your ceviche. This looks so fire. Well, I'm not gonna be trying it right now, but I'll try it in a little bit.